Hello, everybody. My name is Kelly Jo. I am coming to you from Northern Illinois. Not too exciting there. But I am bringing you your 2022 Astrology January review. I was asked by Erica to present something to you all, and at first I was like, no way. I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not the one. And then I just realized that that was just like subconscious programming that I have learned through my life, and that I am more than capable and more than excited to be able to have this opportunity to do this for you guys. So hello again, my name is Kelly Jo. Briefly about myself, I grew up in a very Pentecostal Christian religious home. Astrology was something that really was never discussed. It was honestly something that was looked at in a bad sense of understanding, and it wasn't just until recently that I've gone through my own spiritual awakening and understanding to really understand that the God that created us and made us as worthy and beautiful and special as we are also created the stars. And when we were born, the time we were born, the day we were born really does mean something. It explains why we are the way we are. It explains why we communicate, why we love, why we can't change, why we resist change, why we think, why we act the way we do. It is all answered by the stars. And when I really dove in and started to learn and understand that who I was as a Gemini sun human, and the way that I approached things and the way that I communicated all made sense. So that's when I really just decided to take it upon myself to teach and educate and continue to learn myself. I'm forever a student. Anything that I can that helps answer life. The past few years, I think that we can all agree, have just been truly crazy, unlike anything that we have ever seen. And to just get any sort of insight or hope or understanding, it was more than life-saving for me. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm sharing this hope and this awareness and just trying to teach everyone that it's not evil, it's not bad, it is beautiful, and you deserve to know about it. You deserve to understand yourself a little bit more. So that is me. I would be happy to list my resources that I use, some of my favorite podcasts, who I found this information from. If you would like that, please just drop a me in the comments and let me know, and I would be glad to send that to you. I am very new to this, as I just said. It's just been the past few years that I really have dove into this, so I don't want anyone to think that I am an expert or I am the one that knows all things. Like I said, I'm always learning. I am forever a student, and I'm just really excited to have the opportunity to share with you what I feel like you might like to know. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is, for one, we're going to talk about the astrological zodiac signs that are in play for this month. So we have zodiac in Aquarius, and then we're going to talk about some major astrology events that are taking place this month that we can take note of, and then I'll kind of give you some tips on what you can do, what those mean, how you can react, and how to take full advantage of everything that's happening. And then we'll end today with, again, just a little personal assignment or to-do task to give you something to follow up on until next month. Okay, so let's start with Capricorn. So Capricorn season began on December 22nd, and it will last until January 19th. Briefly, just a breakdown of Capricorns. If you are a Capricorn, drop Capricorn in the comments. If you know somebody, drop a heart in the comments. So Capricorns are, one, the rarest sign in all of the zodiacs. So that is kind of cool about them to begin with. And they are the doers. They are the builders. Actually, the expression for Capricorn is I build, and you are an earth element. Feet on the ground, eye on the prize, go-getter, all about the business, okay? You have a goal, you have a mind, you have a dream, and nothing will stop you from getting this dream. You are the hardest, most determined, most resourceful sign of them all. I kind of joke when I do astrology birth chart readings with Capricorns, and when I'm explaining this, is when shit goes down and whatever happens, zombie apocalypse, whatever, get a Capricorn on your team, okay? They're who you want on your team. They are going to make sure you're eating and getting warmth and surviving. Okay, so get a Capricorn. Some more things that I have written down is ambitious, resourceful, I said that, responsible, mature, a big picture thinker. Hardly anything can sway a Capricorn's mind, which is actually a negative for you because your spiritual side kind of gets halted with your real life, realistic ideas, your common sense. You have a really hard time listening to your core spiritual beliefs and voice because you just want to listen to hardcore facts. So if you are Capricorn, I would just say to kind of get more in tune with your spirituality and like what your inner voice is saying because you are connected and you do know. Another negative that people might say about Capricorns is that you're a little too honest. Maybe a little too blunt, or just like some people might say that you lack emotion, and that is far from the case. Again, you're just more determined than most signs can even grasp. And if it's not about growth, it's not for you, and that's okay. You have to accept that and you have to release it. You have to let it go. So that's a Capricorn in overview. Some famous, important celebrities, people that we would know that are Capricorns, I think would be kind of fun to just say, are Stephen Hawking, Sir Isaac Newton, Jim Carrey, Muhammad Ali, Michelle Obama, and Jeff Bezos. So I think those all kind of like correlate to what we just talked about. The second sign that is in play in January is Aquarius. So Aquarius is in rule from January 20th to February 18th. It is an air sign. And the expression for Aquarius is I innovate. I love and dear. I hold an Aquarius very dear to my heart. I love her. My very first daughter, Riley, she's an Aquarius. And since just really learning about Aquarius and understanding them, it has really opened my eyes. I think they might be one of my favorite zodiac signs. You're the oddball. You're the weird one. You're the off the beaten path, beat of your own drum. Nothing really sways you. Nothing really gets to you. Nothing really bothers you. You are the humanitarian. You are the voice for the weak. You stand up for the ones who cannot stand up for themselves. You hate bullies. You're so dependable. You're really able to see people for what they are versus a stereotypical idea of what we might think of people. Like me, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, a lot of people might think that I am unintelligent or this or that or the other. Aquarius would be someone who would be able to see inside of that and understand that, one, I'm a Gemini, and two, I reside in Mercury, which that means my communication is on point, and I'm very intuitive, and I'm very, very intelligent. And Aquarius would be able to see that and pinpoint that and protect me in a sense when it's needed. The only thing that people would say, not only thing, but a main thing that people would say is a negative about an Aquarius is that they are just hard to understand. You just feel like you can't connect with them. You feel like you are just like, they're too indecisive and they're too quiet and you just don't know what they're thinking. And like, to an Aquarius, they do not care. They do not care, okay? They do not care what you think. They do not care your opinion of them. If you're ready to go, they can go. And I think that's really beautiful about Aquarius. You really help change the world. So Aquarius is... go and keep doing you. Some famous people you may know that are Aquariuses. Thomas Edison, Charles Dickens, Franklin Roosevelt, Oprah, Bob Marley, and then Abe Lincoln. So I think, again, those are really like valid points of that side. So next we're going to go into some of the important astrological events that are happening for this month. There's a lot. I could spend all day talking about the different transits and the different nodes and where the planets are shifting and all of those things, but I just kind of broke it down into 3 things that I felt like were most important to talk about. So we will start with, on January 1st, there is a Thrine. So for those of you that are new to astrology, I even had to look it up to get like an exact definition for you guys. My astrology dictionary is... So a Thrine is when 2 planets are placed 120 degrees apart. So if you're thinking of a circle, they are one's here and one's here. They are very close to each other, and those forces are working together in a harmony. They are giving those Planets are those things, potential and power to slide through with ease. So on January 1st, there's a trine between the sun, which represents ourself, and Uranus, which is the planet of change and revolution. So that is really, it's really touching on that this is the time of emerging. This is the time to release what is not yours, to let go what doesn't feel good, to really think about those things that you can't stop thinking about, to really tune into those feelings that don't feel good. If you're doing something over and over and you're continuing to get the same feeling, now's the time to think about that, to honestly pinpoint that and to release it, because now is the time for change. You are going to emerge as this confident, this connected human that you were always born to be. Yes, you have gone through it. We've all gone through it. I mean, especially the past few years. I mean, we could just all talk about the difference of world that we're living in. It's just unbeknownst to really any of us that are living right now. And this is just giving a ray of hope that change is on the horizon. Make space for new. Make space for what you want. Really take time to listen to yourself and what you want. And it's so beautiful that it falls on the first of the year, because obviously a lot of people make the New Year's resolutions. And I've never been one to make really resolutions. I just kind of always have felt that pressure of making something on the first of the year is just bound to fail. But this is the year. This is the year to truly, really dig in, dig deep. What do you want? That leads us into January 2nd. So January 2nd is bringing a new moon. New moons are time for manifesting, setting your intentions. What do you want? Deep down, childlike excitement. I want you to think about what you want before your brain tells you, oh no, you could never have that. I want you to really think about dreams, hopes, aspirations for yourself, things that you just truly believe are just not meant for you. I want you to stop that thought and really just hold on to the belief of what could you have if you really, truly went for it. The new moon is time to do that. Write it down. On January 2nd, I really challenge all of you to take time on those first few days of January to reflect, to write it out, to really get honest with yourself. Just manifest what you want. Plant the seeds. The day you plant the seed is not the day you harvest. We all know that. We all are aware of how it works. And so you need to plant these seeds in faith. You need to have ground that is fertilized in hope and of understanding that you are more worthy than you could ever imagine. That is where these seeds need to come from. And that is what you need to start this new year doing. Okay? Going into that is that we have a full moon then on, reverse a little bit. There also is another full moon or another new moon on January 31st. So there's actually 2 new moons in January, which is not normal. So that's kind of cool. Okay, fast forward. January 17th is the full moon. So the full moon in Cancer. Cancers are very inward, emotional, crabby people. And this full moon is for that inward reflection, for that inward release. On the new moon on the 2nd, what we're doing is we're writing down what we want. We're writing down our intentions. On the 17th, on this full moon, that's time for you to refer back to what you just manifested and see, are you on the right track? Is there anything still blocking you? Are there any subconscious beliefs that are still harnessing your understanding for what you want? Full moon is the time to understand those and to release them and to continue to have gratitude for every day that you've had between then and that you'll have between the next one. This is ever changing. This is ever growing. If you allow yourself to get into the flow of this is what has to be and this is what has to happen to get there and this is when it's going to happen, you will be disappointed. You will be disappointed. We are never, ever meant to have the answers for everything. We are never meant to be the ones in control of it all. We're just supposed to be the ones with gratitude and with, faith that it's going to take place. Okay? So that's the full moon. The last event that we'll talk about, I could talk about many things, but I'm going to choose to talk about Jupiter transiting Pisces. So this actually happened on December 19th of 2021. It is actually going to stay in Pisces. Jupiter will stay in Pisces until May of 2022. Jupiter is the planet of abundance, of faith, of religion, of expansion. Pisces is the zodiac sign of compassion and of love. And when you have these two things together, it's really going to bring a compassionate, warm, spiritual, uplifting energy that is going to really hone in and like, can't think of the word. It's going to encourage you to really just look at things differently. We stepped into the age of Aquarius in March of 2021. And this really is the time that more understanding for spirituality is coming into play. Religion and spirituality is really going to be able to take an outward look at one another and realize that we all are kind of on the same mission. We all kind of understand that there's a higher power at play, and that you do good, you get good, and it's all about just being the best that you can be in that moment and loving everyone where they're at. And we are really going to see a momentum of just understanding, open-mindedness, a lot of astrology, psychics, meeting, like stuff like that is really going to come into play this year. Herbal medicine. It's going to be a very exciting time. I know that it seems so hard to grasp this right now because of what we're going through. The last time Jupiter was in Pisces was in 2010. So to just remind you guys what was going on then, that was the full-blown recession that we were going through. There was a swine flu outbreak. It's very similar. And to just keep that hope of the possibilities, to just keep the hope that it's going to get better. It has to get better. This is not the end. So it has to get better. And you starting this year with the mind of staying focused, staying grounded, not allowing yourself to get that fear mongering from the news. Allow yourself to turn off the outward energy that's disrupting your inward spirit. You have to start listening to that. You aren't ignorant. You aren't uneducated. You're not a civilized human if you're not going to listen to the news every night and get that deep feeling of fear. It is really time for us to take back our own self-love, our own self-righteousness, not in a bad way, but just not allowing ourselves to be fooled by outside sources. We have done the work. You have done the work. You have gone through the battles. You have paid that karmic debt. What I mean by that is through the generations before us, karma has been put into play. Our ancestors have done things and have signed contracts that has put karma in, and before they were able to receive that karma, they died. And karma does not understand that. So karma keeps going. And that's why you are living this life where you feel like you're just like doing all these things and being the best person, and you're still receiving all of this shit. That is over. The karmic debt has been paid. The emotion has been laid out. The loss has happened. The brutal trauma, the darkness, the worry, the guilt, the lack, all of those seasons are done. They're done. Call it right now into your life. They are done. They are done. It is now time to step into the new normal of abundance, the new normal of worthiness, of being deserving, of being excited, of doing what lights you up, of going off the beaten path if that's what everyone's doing, but having faith inwardly that you're doing what you need to do. There's never been a more important time to do that. So I really just encourage you to just like release what is yours and release the years, release the anger, release the bullshit that holds you back, because you are never going to get to where you need to go by holding on to that. It just doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense. And it is time to step again into that new normal with optimism, with hope, with just such excitement. I get so excited when I think about it, because it is time. It is time. This year I am really manifesting for my life personally. Quantum leaps, not just in my business, but with my wealth, with my health, with my abundance, with my mindset, with my reach with my space. It is just going to be so different than what it was this year. And not that this year wasn't great, it's going to be better. And to just really stepping into that and understanding that and accepting that I am so worthy of that. It is something I wish for all of you, for sure. Okay, so let's end our review today with just a little, I don't want to say assignment, but just a to-do if you'd like. So first thing I'm going to say is your soul medicine. I say that all the time, but what I mean by that is getting connected and surrounded by a group of people, individuals that have the same beliefs, that have the same understandings. They might not know it all. They might be very new or they might be very edgy. It does not matter where they're at in their journey. It just matters that you're on the same journey. You have to stop surrounding yourself with people who don't believe in you. You have to stop surrounding yourself with people who bring you down. You have to stop surrounding yourself with people who steal your joy. You have to. You have to start filling that void and filling that space with people who root for you, who love you, who believe in you, who see you, who educate you. It is so important. It is so important for you, for this upcoming year, to just really allow yourself to be surrounded by people who make you feel good, right? Okay. Second thing I'm going to challenge you guys to do, this is a fun thing that I do, but I am challenging you to write a soul contract. So what I mean by that is a contract is something that we know in our 3D world with houses, with cars, with jobs. You sign a contract for a certain amount of time for a certain thing, etc. I challenge you to write a soul contract to your angels, to the universe. I want you to write this contract as if it's already happened. I want you to give it a time frame. An example is, I will be the healthiest and happiest I have ever been all of 2022. I will have the most money in my bank account I've ever had all of 2022. I will wake up every single day with joy and gratitude and excitement every single day of 2022. I will live and serve a life that is helpful to not just myself, but to everyone, all of 2022. I will, etc., etc., etc. Write that in faith. Write it, sign it, date it, believe it. It's really exciting to see what happens when you can do that, for sure. And then the last thing is I'm just going to invite all of you to check out my link tree that I'm going to drop in the bio. This is just not application, but an inquiry of a birth chart reading. So a little bit like I talked about the Capricorn and Aquarius, how you talk, how you think, how you change, how you operate, all of that isn't random. It's for a reason. It has to do with the stars, and it has to do when you were born, and it's not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence, and I would love to be able to shine a light on that and help you get a little bit of understanding of why you are so special, why you are so amazing, and what your superpower is to help you change not just your life, but the world around you. It's really time to stop living in our comfort zone and to take the leap of faith, because there is such greatness waiting for you. Not just this year, but all years ahead. So yeah, I think that is a great place for us to end our January review. Again, please drop any comments or questions in the comments. Any comments or questions in the comments, yeah. And don't forget to check out that link tree in the comments also if you would like to get a personalized birth chart reading. Okay, bye y'all. Peace, love, light.